All right, guys, welcome back into another episode of To The Show Baseball Podcast presented by Beyond the Monster. I'm your host, Andrew Parker. Today's guest is another Red Sox pitching prospect. It's Brandon Clarke. And if you're not familiar with Brandon, he was a fifth-round pick in the 2024 MLB draft, and his name's come up quite a bit this spring. He was a participant in the Spring Breakout Game for the Red Sox. He had an electric inning there, which I'm sure some fans got a first look at. And he was also been kind of around minor league camp, making some waves, I think, with obviously his velocity ticking up a little bit. I know he's been rumored at hitting 100 recently, which we did talk about in the podcast. But before I go any further, whether you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you are listening to your podcast, or if you're watching me on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Please give us a good rating. We bring you a different player every single time we do this, so it's always helpful. But without further ado, let's shoot you on over to the interview with Brandon Clarke. All right, guys, I am joined by Red Sox pitching prospect Brandon Clarke, and if that's a name that you might have heard about recently, you might be right, because Brandon's kind of been all over the place this spring as a member of the Spring Breakout Game. And I think you were also a part of that Fenway Futures game that they kind of did this year. I know it was kind of new. I'm not too familiar with that and how that's going. But Brandon, I know we were talking a little bit off air about kind of like how you've been this offseason and everything. But how did camp go for you?
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. First spring training under the belt and to get down here. It was in a familiar place. They had us down here right after the draft in July. So we've been down here. Me and the draft class have been down here since July. Obviously, we got a little break for the offseason. We left around Thanksgiving. And then most of us came back early January and got kicking, got rolling, jumped into some programs, some camps, and got rolling. And now we're headed out to the affiliates here soon. But it was a lot of fun. It was cool to get a first spring training under the belt. Good environment to be in, challenging and just being able to grow and, learn what pro hitting is like, and kind of differentiate it from college. I was kind of in both places. I started at Alabama and then went JUCO. So just to be able to get to professional baseball, facing pro hitters and figure out what plays and what doesn't, and not even what doesn't, but more like how does your pitches play with adjusting to, working counts and all that type of stuff. But it was a cool camp, cool spring, and I'm ready to get rolling this season.
Yeah, and I did kind of mention, you were a member of the Spring Breakout Game, which, obviously is some of the best talent, I guess, on each roster around the league. And, and something that, I did have Dan DeLucia on this show, I guess, a couple weeks back, Woo Sox pitching coach, and he kept saying a phrase to me that I think we were just talking about your draft class, and I think it just like resonates more just seeing your draft class. He kept saying that more mass equals gas, and I could not help but to think, I'm like, that whole draft class they just drafted a whole lot of mass, and I'm seeing it's a lot of gas. I think you were clocked between like 96 to 100 in the Spring Breakout Game, and I guess for fans that maybe weren't too familiar with you before, obviously you hadn't appeared in a game since you were drafted. How cool was that to kind of do that in front of like, a big audience? It was on TV, like a lot of fans were watching that game. Like, how cool was that to kind of like, I guess that be your first introduction to Red Sox fans?
Yeah, no, that was amazing. It was a blessing to just be selected for that game and to be able to do it on the stage and have it televised, from friends back home to high school teammates to all my family tuning in. My mom and dad made the trip down. It was beautiful. It was an amazing experience. And just super blessed for that. But no, it was a great start, and to be able to go out there and have my first inning under my belt and then come back out for the second and finish real strong and get that first pro experience under my belt was pretty cool, especially on that stage facing the best of the best, like you just mentioned, for the guys in the Rays organization, was pretty cool. And to be able to light up the radar gun a little bit. I remember I didn't hit 100. I hit 99.4 in our organization. We have shirts that when there's an umpire, we got a guideline that if there's an umpire behind the plate and you hit 100.0 on the dot, like it can't be 99.9, it can't be 99.8, it's got to be 100.0. So I finished the game, and our pitching director goes, "Man, like, hey, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed." And I was like, "Me too, man." And anyway, that was a lot of fun. And then I came out the following Thursday, and it was on the smaller scale. We ended up throwing in the backfields and throwing our scrimmages. Obviously not, televised, but still, just as competitive. But I ended up hitting 100 and got my T-shirt, and it was a pretty cool experience. But no, the breakout game was an awesome experience to get in there, compete against good hitters, and just get my feet wet in Pro Bowl was awesome.
Have they changed the T-shirts? Is it still the I Throw Fuego?
It's a little bit different this year. Last year, I heard they were yellow and super loud.
They were obnoxious.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. This year, they still stand out, but they're more. They got like a blackish gray in the middle. What does the middle say? Oh, it has like a big like diamond, and then it says Fuego in the middle, and on the back it has Pedro Martinez with like hundreds going down the back. So it's pretty cool. I cut off the sleeves, and then I had the other day. We can't wear cutoffs on the field, but I cut off the sleeves, and then I wore like a T-shirt under it. It looked pretty cool. So I didn't wear it for like the first 4 or 5 days, and the pitching coaches were like, "Man, like wear it." And I was like, "All right, I'll wear it." So I put it on. It was cool.
I haven't seen one of the shirts in a while because last year, I know in Worcester there was 2 guys. I didn't see any in Portland that had it. I know Ryan Zefferjon had it before he got traded, and then Luis Guerrero obviously was rocking it all the time. He loved wearing that thing. I loved it. He was feeling good in that. But yeah, it's cool though. I kind of like that. I know you and Juan Valera probably both received yours because he was also throwing some heat as an 18-year-old. That's a whole other story.
Yeah, he did.
But okay, so as far as you though, I want to admit something to you, and I don't want to lie about it. When I saw what obviously on draft day, you kind of see the guys getting drafted, and when you got drafted, I had never heard of the school that you had attended, and it's not like a knock or anything like that. I'm just not too familiar, I guess, with Florida schools other than Florida State and I guess a few of the others. But how was your college scene like? Like, were you a guy that had just not very many offers out of high school? I guess, like, when did you kind of start like building into who you are now as a pitcher?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, it was to be honest, so I started at University of Alabama. I went there my freshman year of college. So I had some opportunities and choices in high school. Went to Alabama. My freshman year of college, I had thoracic outlet syndrome. So I got a surgery in the fall, missed my full spring season. My agent had given me a call at the end of the year and was like, "Hey man, like we need you to pitch, like you need to pitch next year. Like you can compete at Alabama, but we want you to throw a lot." And Alabama was like, "Hey Brandon, like we want you to throw a lot. We don't know how much you're going to pitch here, but we'd love to have you back." So we kind of made a mutual decision, like, "Hey, it's best for me to move a different way." At that point, it was late July, heading into the fall season of college season. So I was like, "Man, I got to make a decision pretty soon." So my agent had a great relationship with State College of Florida, which is down here in Bradenton, Florida, about an hour and a half north of here in Fort Myers. And he was like, "We've had good success here. In 2017, we had a first rounder, Brennan Little, who was drafted by the Cubs, who my agent had. And he had great success with our pitching coach and our head coach here. So he's like, "Hey, let's go down there. It'll be a good environment. You're going to pitch. You're going to start. You're going to throw a lot." And unfortunately, I got knocked my first year again with a little minor injury. It was a stress fracture. I missed most of the spring. So I decided to come back for the second year of junior college and had a real good spring. Made big jumps and improvements and came back and the rest was the rest and got drafted this past summer and now we're here.
So speaking of the draft, and something was interesting. When I was talking to Blake, who was selected just a round after you in this past year draft, and he mentioned that he actually didn't really have any communication with the Red Sox, that he was very surprised that he was drafted by them. He had just had a few emails and texts with the area scout there. But for you, were you shocked that it was the Red Sox? Did you guys have a lot of talk before? I guess, what did that look like?
No, man. Same thing with Blake. When I got drafted and called on draft day by my agent, they were like, "Hey, Brandon, the Red Sox want to take you in about 20 picks." And I was like, "The Red Sox, interesting." I had like him, had a couple of texts from my area scout right after my season asking for like some pitch grips. That was about it. Didn't have a meeting, didn't have anything like that. I went out to the combine, had meetings with a bunch of teams. But then on draft day, when push came to shove, it was the team that wanted me the most, and the Red Sox drafted me. So no, to answer your question, I didn't talk to them ahead of time. They didn't show any immense interest, but then, obviously, the pick speaks for itself. Yeah,
and obviously they're very high on you. Obviously, we talked about before, the having a spot in the breakout game and the Futures Fenway. I know that's something new they're doing, but that they don't just give those spots away. Like you kind of earn that spot based on like how you are doing on the field. And obviously, I've heard a lot about you this spring from Abe's all the way down to some of the pitching coordinators and coaches down throughout the system. So for you to kind of have the Red Sox use, a fifth round draft pick that's pretty high to be selected. So for them to use such a high pick on you and to kind of be like pretty high on you to select you for the breakout game, like how does that feel like as a guy that hasn't even started his pro career essentially yet?
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's always good to be wanted and sought after. It's pretty cool, but I just try to keep my head down, man. Like remain humble and not allow those things to get to my head, good or bad. Like there's gonna be days I go out there and have my A game, and there's gonna be days that I go out there and don't pitch great. It's just part of the game. But to be able to have that kind of scale and that love this early on, just taking care of business. Honestly, my focus was come in, have an open mind and do what they ask me. Of course, it's my career at the end of the day, but like be open-minded, take care of business, communicate, be respectful, be honest, remain humble, and be super confident and just keep taking care of business. And I think that's got me good places so far. We still got a long way to go. Obviously, the goal is to be a really freaking good big leaguer eventually and with the Red Sox. But to be able to have those kind of, I guess you can call them accolades initially, or those high praises or words is pretty cool. Just it lets you know that, hey, you're doing the right things, and it's just a little bit of some reassurance once in a while. So it's been cool. I've felt the love from everybody, just being able to communicate, talk, and obviously to be able to be selected for that game and have some coaches speaking highly is always an honor.
So we talked a little bit about the velocity, and I feel like it speaks for itself. Obviously, you're hitting upper 90s, and that a lot of the fans kind of pay attention a lot to the velocity these days, and I know the organization does as well. But for you as a pitcher, like who is Brandon Clarke as a pitcher? What kind of things? What's your arsenal look like these days? What do you bring to the mound whenever you're going to enter a game for the Red Sox org?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no, the heater's there, of course. That's obviously a big part of my game. But coming to pro ball, you start to learn real fast that if you don't mix your stuff, like they're going to be able to be on time with the fastball. They're going to be able to hit the fastball. So that's something that even initially, like I'm learning about. In junior college, you can kind of get away with bullying fastballs by guys. And, if you get down 2-0, like you can go back with the heater. But going out there now, like since I've gotten to pro ball, I've added, I guess, 3 new pitches. In college, it was pretty much fastball, curveball, and an occasional changeup. Now I'm throwing a 4-seam, a sinker, a changeup, a cutter, a sweeper, and a curveball. So I'm throwing just about everything. Pitched today, used them all. Pitched last week, used them all. Like just mixing it all up, man. Like of course, going out there with the heater and like let my stuff work. Obviously, it's pretty good. So I'm gonna use what I got. I've been blessed with that gift. But just going out there, competing, getting outs, taking care of business, obviously winning a lot of baseball games and just bring what I got every single day, being able to compete and be intentional with my work.
So I was debating on if I was going to ask you this or kind of mention this, but I spent a little over a week down in Fort Myers at the complex a couple weeks back, and whenever you guys were all kind of ramping up and before the games had started up, and I remember standing off the side at one of the backfields all the pitchers warm up on. And I'd never seen you in person before. I kind of knew who you were, like just obviously from the draft and everything. And I'll never forget our good pal Noah Dean kind of comes up to me. We're talking and kind of just like, who is that dude out there? Like, is he new to the org? Like, who is that? And he's like, oh, that's BC. And I'm just like, that guy looks like he could be a starting linebacker in the SEC right now. And I've heard nonstop from your draft class that you in the weight room is something that has to be seen, I guess, to really think that it's true. So I guess, how has that been? I guess just being now in pro ball and being around, even just being around like some of the guys that have maybe had some pro time. I know there's a few guys that were in AAA down in the minor league side that have some pro time, and you're kind of working out next to these guys. You're prepping with these guys, and you're just like, okay, like I'm putting up some serious weight over here, but I'm still a rook over here. And I'm trying to just like make my way in pro ball. So I guess how was that to just kind of be for the first time, just trying to prove yourself in both sides of your game there?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, like I just kind of go in and do my thing every day. Like I feel like I have a really good routine. This is a good thing and a bad thing. Like I've had a couple of injuries in my career, and I know my body really well. So like I know what I need to do in the weight room to take care of business and like be as prepared as possible for when I get out on the mound and pitch. But it's been pretty cool. I mean, I can lift a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's it's a little bit of genetics, a little bit of God gifted, and obviously, I work hard in the gym, of course. But it's been cool to just go out there and obviously the guys will be like, BC, like, what do you do? And I'm like, bro, I don't know. I eat a lot of food, I work out, I get some sleep, I hydrate, and then the rest is from God's gift. But it's cool to be alongside everybody, and I take advantage of being around high level guys. Like I was in the hot tub about a week and a half ago, and Crochet was in there, and then we just started talking for about 10-15 minutes, and Garrett Whitlock was around, and I'm talking to him, and we gave our salutes the other day before we headed out to Texas this past a couple of days ago, and just being able to pick some things apart and see guys, and okay, what does he do? Okay, cool, like he does this well. Or hey, like some guys will ask me questions. I remember I was in the weight room yesterday, and I can't remember his name. I think his last name is Adams, but it might be a AAA guy for us or whatever. And he saw one of my exercises for prep. And he's like, dang, I need to start working that into my workout. So it's all over the place. Like I think the big league guys are humble enough, and the AAA guys are humble enough, and obviously we're humble enough to see everybody and use each other and do whatever we can to obviously get better. But it's been pretty cool to be all around and take care of business and keep working hard.
Just an FYI, I'd only heard like people talking about somebody's like, I guess, time in the weight room about two other guys other than yourself, and it was Tyler O'Neill and Aroldis Chapman. So those are like the two guys that people. That's what I'm saying. It's like people are just like, dude, like Aroldis in the weight room, man. Like a little like he's putting up some weight. Like he puts it on his IG as well. So
yeah, he does.
Obviously, Tyler O'Neill is just a walking bicep. So
yeah, he is.
That's good company to be in. But so I got a few questions left before I let you slide here. Maybe a little bit off the field here. Who is Brandon Clarke off the field? Like what kind of things do you like to do in your free time when you're not at the field?
Yeah, no. I spend a lot of time reading. I spend a lot of time in my faith. Like God is number one in my life, no matter what, over baseball, and he gives me the opportunity to play. So I just try to be a good person wherever I'm at, and just take advantage of the opportunities. And just like I'm just a regular Joe that gets to throw a baseball, and I do it pretty good. So like I just try to keep that as my mindset and not let what I do get to my head. So honestly, I just spend a lot of time reading. I spend a lot of time in my faith. I spend a lot of time with family, friends, on the phone with my girlfriend. I play some video games. The new MLB The Show just came out, so I'm waiting on my 99 overall card to get to my inventory. I just got a PS5 the other day, so I'm playing that. But I spend a lot of time, reading, hanging out with friends. I value my relationships, and obviously my faith is huge. So just try to, I spend a lot of time in the mental game too, whether it's a mental book or journaling. I write every single day, whatever it may be. I just try to do whatever I can to make myself better and just enjoy life. Enjoy life outside of ball.
I love the journaling aspect, by the way. I think it's a fantastic idea to just kind of like put your thoughts on paper and just reflect on the day and be like, okay, what can I do tomorrow to make it a better day than yesterday or whatever it is. And that's kind of like what I like to do. So I don't know how you use it, but I love that.
Same way.
Okay. So I think you mentioned golf a little bit, and there's something that I guess every single pitcher, let's just put that, because I keep hearing these like conspiracy theories from hitters that they can't golf because their golf swing will mess with their real swing, which I'm not going to be the guy to judge on if it is. But for you, how does your golf game rank up? I guess let's just stick to maybe even the draft class. So I guess you probably spent the most time on the course in the Red Sox system. Are you in the top half or bottom half of the draft class?
Absolutely. Bottom half. It's not even close. Really? These guys were playing when we got here in July. These guys were playing 4 or 5 times a week. At that time, I didn't have my own set of clubs, so I wasn't going. And I've never been a golfer until recently, and I still wouldn't even consider myself a golfer. Like I've only been once or twice this spring, and simply because down here in Fort Myers, it's in season. So a round of 18 is $100 to $150. It's like, man, do I want to go out there and lose 20 balls and $150? Like, I don't know. So I've been to the range a few times. Me and Blake have played a couple times. I'm definitely in the bottom half, but that's something I heard in Salem. There's some pretty cool courses, and I'm sure in Greenville too when I get there and so on. But I'm in the bottom half, but we're working. We're working. We'll be good eventually. That's something that I got to pick up for sure.
Are you telling me that what club is struggling these days? It can't be the driver, right?
It's all of them. It
can't be the driver.
I smashed. Hey, I'll tell you what. I smashed that golf ball, but
that's what I thought.
20% of the time is going to hit the fairway. The other 80 is probably going to be slicing. So I'm taking another shot off the tee.
You're probably out driving though half these guys, right? You could probably outdrive Blake. I would assume.
I can outdrive. I can hit. If I hit it straight, it's going pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, a guy your size, like you have God gifted trait with size, and I feel like you're probably pretty good off the tee if it goes straight. But
yeah, right.
We're all learning, man. We're all beginners in golf, but
right.
Yeah, Blake was also telling me as well that he is waiting on his real 99 as well. Is that something that you guys are gonna have to like face off against and see whose real 99 is probably better than each other's?
Absolutely. I think mine might have I don't know if he hears me right now, but I think mine might have the upper edge. But it'll be fun. We haven't played against each other yet. I haven't played a ton yet, but I want to get back on the game. My real 99, I think what they have to do is like confirm it, and then they got to get all your attributes together, and then they got to add it to your inventory. So when we get those, we'll face off for sure.
You guys are going to have to do some sort of like tournament or something, because I know some of the guys in AA, high A, they're doing like a Rocket League tournament and all that. And I know David Sandlin's organizing that. So you guys are going to have to start something for the show. I think it would be great entertainment. Even for
live streaming.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. David Sandlin's going to do the same thing. So I'm like, you just got to put it out there and people will watch it. Trust me. All right. I got 2 questions left for you, and then we'll wrap it up here. I like asking this question to just about everybody that hops on here, but I don't know if you're a goals guy, like if you got, statistical goals you want to hit, whether it's innings pitched or if you want to be at a certain number of strikeouts per year, whatever it is. But for you to look back at your 2025 season after it's over, what would you say would be a successful season? Like, what do you need to do this year to say, hey, that was a good year this year for me?
I think health is number one. Absolutely. Like at the top of my list, if I'm blessed enough to stay healthy throughout the year and compete the whole year, like I think I'll put myself in a really good spot. Obviously I got some statistical stuff. I got that in my notes, but kind of keep that to myself, a couple of those things. But most of my stuff is just go enjoy my, opportunity and journey. Like this isn't something I take lightly. Honestly, I was a Red Sox fan my whole entire life growing up. Biggest David Ortiz fan. D-Lo's my roommate. Biggest David Ortiz fan. I was a hitter. I did both, but I was a hitter until college. And when I was young, I'd be called Big Papi. And man, like I love the Sox. So just to be able to be here in this moment and have this opportunity is just a gift in itself. So just coming to the field every day and not taking for granted the gift that I do have, and just appreciating it, and honestly health, and just getting better every week, just being able to flush when, times aren't great, and keep pushing when we keep slugging and stacking days when I'm going real good. So I would say just remain healthy, push on, and who knows what the end of the year could bring. Who knows where I could be. That's kind of a gift that I kind of just keep in my head, is like, man, like I can do some things that are, abnormal, if you would say. Like some of the stuff I got is pretty different than a lot of people that play this game. So who knows what the end of the year could bring if, I keep slugging and keep pushing forward where I could be. So just moving levels, playing ball, playing some good baseball, staying healthy, I would say at the top of the list.
Is that a weird feeling for you? Just you saying that you were a big Red Sox fan your whole life and you loved David Ortiz. People called you Big Papi. Now you're roommates with his son. Is that like a weird feeling at all?
It's surreal, dude. Like it's freaking surreal. Like for me to just it's hard for me to wrap my head around sometimes. I forget, and then I like try to lay in bed at night and like really dwell on the fact that like I am here. Like it's pretty freaking cool. It's really cool, and it's so easy to just get caught up in the everyday monotony of showing up to the field and doing this, and then we don't step back and really be like, dang, like look how far we've been blessed to come. Like look where God's brought us. Look what the gifts we do have. So everything happens for a purpose and a reason. And it is pretty. It's different. Like it's bizarre for sure. But I sit in and I'm like, man, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Well, you transitioned me perfectly into my last question here. It kind of goes hand in hand with what you were kind of just talking about, but you've had a long time to think about this since being drafted, and you haven't really been in I guess, a competitive game that counts, I guess, towards stats and everything like that in minor league ball. So what are you looking forward to the most about starting your professional baseball career?
Yeah, competing again. I mean, it's been a long freaking time. Like last time I pitched in a game, like you just said, in a real competitive environment where everything counts was April 27 of 24. So like just about a calendar year. Like it's been a long time. JUCO season starts early and ends early. So just being able to see a batter in the box and compete and like have a scoreboard. And I know, it's going to be a grind. It's going to be a long season. Like the minor league season is about 3 times as much as a college season. So maybe a little bit less, 2.5 times the college season. So just going out there and being able to compete, have road trips again. Like even though I remember college, I'm freaking, this sucks. Like I'm taking 8 hours to, get up the road, or I'm doing this. Like those are fun, man. Like just being able to be with the guys, be with the teammates, and enjoy that time is pretty cool. So, yeah, I would just say just to compete again, get out there and have a routine, have a schedule, and go out there and try to compete and win baseball games and do really good.
You'll have to circle back with me if you still think the 8-hour bus ride from Salem to wherever you guys are going is fun whenever you're in it, because I feel like you're like, maybe I don't want to be on this.
Yeah, right.
All good. All right, Brandon, I appreciate you hopping on a ton. Obviously, a lot of fans are very interested in you and obviously want to hear from you. So I definitely appreciate you coming on and talking. And we're looking forward to seeing, a good 2025 out of you there in Salem and wherever it takes you from there. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on.